For those who speak Russian, in this magazine which you have on the table, there is an interview, 8 pages interview of Mrs. Kalogirou, and that's actually how the idea to have the first session on new technologies came to my mind, because there's so many changes, and 8 pages is just maybe 1/3 of the conversation we had. I came for an interview, usually interviews are about 40 minutes, we said for 2 hours, and I'm sure that Mrs. Kalogirou did not say everything she wanted to say, because there's so many things. Now she has more challenging tasks. Within 15 minutes, she will update you with the recent changes, with the plans, and with the technologies that will be implemented in the life of SciSec. So, Chairwoman of SciSec, Mrs. Demetra Kalogirou.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sure I'm not going to take 2 hours. I promise I will be within 15 minutes or so. I will give you just an overview of what we are doing, and also touching up on the technology already mentioned by our previous colleague here. It is a pleasure of being here and being invited by Natalia and give me the opportunity to talk to all of you. As you know, the scale and pace of the innovation in the fintech sector today presents regulatory opportunities, but also challenges for all regulators. And this is a subject I will address today. In the last 10 years, we have seen a proliferation in the development, adoption, and accessibility of financial technology, changing, of course, the way firms interact with and provide services to their clients. This technology-led growth has fostered a unique financial services sector in Cyprus, where technology is deployed and leveraged to provide innovative new services to people all over Europe and indeed the rest of the world. At SciSec, we are committed to fostering innovation and the benefits it generates, underpinned by our core mission, though, of guaranteeing investor protection. We believe appropriate and proportionate regulation can improve demand for innovative services by increasing consumer trust and confidence in those services and the businesses that provide them. This should underpin tomorrow's capital market. Today, let's have an overview of the market. Today, I'm sure some of you have already seen this graph, because I always have it, and seen the progress of the market. So, SciSec today supervises around 679 entities. This is an increase actually from 2011, I put here, which I was chairwoman from September 2011 up to now. So from 2011, we have 170 increase in the total number of the firms established in Cyprus providing financial services. This includes 246 investment firms licensed under the MiFID II Now directive regime. Many of these Cypriot investment firms have embraced new fintech technology already and have helped create a unique financial sector that has enhanced economic growth here in Cyprus and employment in Cyprus. Many of the investment firms within the industry, and especially the forex industry, since we are in Limassol, are examples of businesses adapting their business models to incorporate new technologies with long-term regulatory enhanced, first of all, investor protection, second, transparency, and also productivity and efficiency. SciSec oversees, of course, the Cyprus Stock Exchange that we have here, and the Cyprus Stock Exchange also has another market which is called Multilateral Trading Facility, and we also oversee 76 issuers of securities listed on the Cyprus Stock Exchange, but also on other exchanges abroad. Of course, the listed companies, we supervise them only for transparency purposes, that they give the accounts to the investors, the prospectuses when they want to raise capital, and also for mergers and acquisitions and takeovers. SciSec also oversees 153 administrative service providers. We took over them in 2013-14, where we are one of the 3 regulators regulating the fiduciary. The regulators are the Auditors Association, IPAC, and the Bar Association, so the lawyers. So we are 3 actually monitoring the market for fiduciary, but only for anti-money laundering purposes. We don't regulate them for the rest of the things that they do. I don't know if this is going to change. We need to see what is the report from Moneyval that is coming by the end of the year, and we hope we have a good rating there. And it's very important for us to have a good rating on the progress that we've done in the last years supervising this, the industry in general for anti-money laundering. And it's going to be, if it's going to be a good report, that means that a lot of things might change from the ones that they accuse Cyprus all the time about things happening in the past. Now we are in the future, so things have changed, and this, I think it will be shown in the report. As you can see from the table, also we supervised 202 alternative investment funds. We accommodated them in 2014. Before there were small funds regulated by the central bank, but then we updated the law, the national law, so we put the different types of funds that the managers can manage. So from there, we've seen a lot of increase from 2014 that we got them. Now, from 2014, I think is the we've got like 98% the last 3 years of increase in the fund industry. As a result of our increased role in the European financial industry, we see a considerable amount of interest from local and investors to set up businesses in Cyprus to provide financial services. We have at our disposal a highly sophisticated pool of talent in the financial and professional services, and combined with all the competitive business environments already you know about Cyprus, so it gives us a position to have access to the EU region's deep capital markets. Okay, let's move on in the development. Here I would just mention the developments in the legal developments that we had with the latest EU directives. In April 2019, the public offer and prospectus law was amended under the relevant European legislation, and Cyprus now exempts new issuers from having to publish a prospectus when raising capital through Cyprus up to 5 million, as calculated over a period of 12 months. This was one of the member state options, and we exercised it. Last year, we transposed into our national law the MiFID II, as you all know, directive. We also transposed the PRIPS regulation, where when you have complex products, you have to do the PRIP, the kit, into the investors and put it in your website. And then we transposed the 4th anti-money laundering directive, and very soon the 5th anti-money laundering directive will be transposed. All these pieces of regulation, of course, have been important in strengthening the transparency and investor protection, but also a lot of burden and regulatory burden of the companies to follow and comply. Last year, we enacted new amendments also in the Alternative Investment Funds law in order to put a new product which is called RIFEs, which is the registered funds, to facilitate the enrollment to the Securities Commission, because the manager will be responsible for all the documentation if the rules apply to the fund. So in an effort also to make the whole investment fund regime work better and more regulations are coming. We're going to regulate the mini managers. That means the managers that manage funds under 100 million, okay? Because now we have the big managers that manage funds over 100 million and the investment firms that manage funds under the thresholds. Now we can establish new entities, which are called mini managers, license them, and manage small funds. And also, we're going to regulate the fund administrators. Still, It's in the Securities Commission. We haven't put it for consultation, but we will be coming soon. So now there are firms that give administration to the funds, making the net asset value and redemption subscriptions and all these are not regulated. So we can regulate as well this industry. So that means the manager will be regulated, the mini manager will be regulated, the fund administration and the custodian. So all the industry will be regulated. And this is for the investor, the protection of the investor. And these two regulatory regimes, mini managers and administrators, I hope they will come out in 2020. And let's talk about the Innovation Hub, because we're going to get into the technology now. SciSec actively supports innovation, as I said before, and we particularly the technology projects and products that can themselves help financing the real economy's growth. SciSec has actively encouraged and supported innovative firms to demonstrate their commitment to investor protection by helping them develop a sound and embedded culture, which is very important for good governance, starting from the head of the companies and going down, and before they begin their operations. To bring the support into practice, we established the Innovation Hub in September 2018. The aim is to explore the growth and uses of fintech and regtech, not only fintech. Regtech solutions are very important as well, and we have seen fintech, a lot of fintech applications like crypto exchanges coming down to Cyprus, explain to us what they are doing and how they are working using blockchain technology. Of course, already mentioned before that the blockchain was developed because of the cryptos, and DLT, different DLTs, software solutions, virtual currencies, of course, and different regtech softwares like anti-money laundering, computerized anti-money laundering softwares that the companies here can use and plug in their systems, and also best execution programs we have seen that you can plug also into your own platform and facilitate your work and be compliant with all the regulations of best execution. So we've seen a lot of different providers of these platforms, and actually want to see them before they launch this product into our supervised entities, to be sure that they cover at least the regulations that we want them to cover before you buy them. So this is the work that we've been doing with the Innovation Hub, and also we're trying to see whether some of the services or products coming to us are really, they have to follow the existing regulations and they don't know it. So another thing that we are doing, we see the product, the new product, and then we decide whether it's falling within the existing regulations that we have, and they have to be licensed before launching it into the market again. And also we see different products that there is an interest on them, so we need to do a national regulation to cover them if there is enough interest for a product that there is no existing regulation right now. So we just see the products, the services, and then we see if there is an interest. It's under our mandate. We will do a national legislation to cover them. So we have within in-house, we have an in-house working group comprised experts from SciSec's various departments, and these are dedicated people and contact of point for the different providers that they want to come into the Innovation Hub. And if you're interested in hearing more about this, there is a dedicated section in SciSec's website where you can go in and fill in the form of what you have, what you do, what product you have, you want to show us, or what solution do you have you want to launch into the market. And so, ladies and gentlemen, any discussion on fintech and its regulation will be incomplete without mentioning the blockchain, already mentioned by my colleague. What is a blockchain? But through our engagement within the market and through our engagement with the Innovation Hub, the biggest areas of innovation we are witnessing is this: there is an increased interest in the application of blockchain in modern day trade. So we recognize that blockchain is becoming a proven technology in a number of areas, including tracing shareholding certifications, as already mentioned, that UNIC is already doing, is recording transfers in ownership or voting rights or physical assets. So, but still there are challenges on this technology that we need to see and understand how we can overcome. And also, when it comes to our regulatory agenda, is the application of blockchain technology to various types of cryptocurrencies. So at EU level, action has already been taken to address some specific risks associated with virtual currencies, with the threat of virtual currencies being vulnerable to money laundering and terrorist financing is our principal concern. And this is very important because SciSec has drawn also the attention to the fact that ICOs, depending on how they are structured, as I said, may fall within the existing regulations, and they might not know it. A company that raises capital through ICO can have a characteristic that could be a financial instrument and not a utility bill, and then it has to come here and be licensed from the SciSec, from the securities commissions. We have guidance of what might constitute a financial instrument, an ICO. It's good to find the circulars that we issued about these issues and read it carefully if you have such an intention. And if you raise capital through an ICO and it's a financial instrument, then you have to do a prospectus. And then you have to follow the rules of MiFID in the marketing and promotion. Then you also have to follow the rules on anti-money laundering. So it's very important to understand whether it's a financial instrument or not, the ICO that you are launching. So what we believe is that all crypto assets actually and relevant activities should be subject to AML provisions for the protection of the investors. And as I mentioned earlier, SciSec is in the process of transposing the 5th anti-money laundering directive. And we have a consultation paper back then in 2019 in February about the 5th directive. And actually it's the first time that Europe brings us a regulation that bring under the umbrella the cryptos for the first time. So with the 5th directive, which is a European regulation, we have to register all the crypto exchanges that are now unregulated with the Securities Commission and monitor them only for anti-money laundering issues only. And then we will see whether we will establish a national law. We are already in the process of doing so to regulate further. But the starting point is to regulate using the 5th directive, registering such crypto exchanges and wallet providers, and check them only for anti-money laundering. And we have actually changed the 5th directive, and we put more things to cover within the 5th directive. We want to cover the exchanges between cryptos to cryptos, and we want to cover the transfer of virtual currencies, not only cryptos to fiat money. We want to cover also cryptos to cryptos. And participation in and provision of financial services related to an issuer that offer or sell crypto assets. So in SciSec's view, such an enhancement is necessary and proportionate as it will address the AML risks emanating from crypto asset activities in a more comprehensive manner. We are working closely with the Ministry of Finance and Central Bank of Cyprus to assess these risks surrounding crypto assets in order to explore where there is merit, as I said, to put a new law, a national legislation for specific asset classes and monitor further, not only for anti-money laundering, but monitor them in the whole services that they provide. We also welcome the government and the House of Representatives initiative to create a national strategy for the possible applications of the distributed ledger technology in different areas of the public sector, as already mentioned, maybe in the land registry or anywhere else. And looking ahead, there are many developments underway to improve and the strength of regulation of new technologies across Europe. We participate in negotiations of the European proposal of cross-border crowdfunding. It's important. We want to regulate the crowdfunding here in Cyprus. Actually, we are in the process of having a consultation paper of having the law for crowdfunding, for equity crowdfunding, for loan-based crowdfunding. We will come with the regulation, because regulation in Europe is there, and I think it's going to get out maybe in 1 year's time, that will cover both the equity and the loan crowdfunding, but we want to launch it earlier, the equity-based crowdfunding, and actually will give to our investment firms this new service. We want our investment firms that are already regulated and they know about regulations to extend, if they want, and have a platform, crowdfunding platform, to help the fintech companies that they want to raise capital, and they can't right now because of the our banking sector has an excess liquidity right now, and they don't accept easily opening of accounts. So another way of raising capital, except from the fund industry that we created as an alternative means of financing, or the stock exchange where you can get in and raise some capital, we can also put now the crowdfunding. So we try to find different ways of financing small firms, SMEs, fintech firms, that they have a product, a good product to develop, and they are, struggling to find finance. So the MiFID firms, our investment firms, will help having this new service, and actually raise capital for fintech companies. And we also, another issue that we see is the outsource operations that everybody now is doing on the cloud services, and we are also thinking of going to the cloud service. We have big data coming from the market. We don't know how to manage all this data, and we are going to do some guidance in the market about cloud services and what you need to watch out if you want to go to cloud as well. We're going to cloud services. In closing, and I'm going to close because I can talk, as you say, forever in different issues. And CySEC, as you know, plays an important role in making Cyprus securities one of our safest and most reliable places to do business, through establishing and maintaining a fair and lawful jurisdiction to grow and innovate responsibly. CySEC regulatory agenda is based on maintaining high standards, and this is number one, of investors' protection. I always say that, and investors' confidence, because without investors' protection, nobody will be interested in investing in your firms. So you need to be compliant and need to follow the regulations so the investors can have trust onto your firms and invest. And this is the number one mandate of the Securities Commission, and we'll follow that very strictly. This, in turn, will lead to the healthy development of the market with new products and services, deploying financial technology and innovation for good. We look forward to the future with great confidence, Natalia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A business success or success in any organization is all about passion. And I think with your energy, with your passion, these results of 175% growth in the market and so on, they are visible. So I'm not complaining that you talk too much. I know how much you did not share. Yes,
Okay.
all right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.